All right, let's do it. Let's take a big fat shit for the next hour here. What's up, guys? StickinRink podcast back again for another edition of Late Night Talks with ya boys here. Fellas, it's good to see you as always. Before I even ask you anything about your lives, I'm going to jump right into the infomercial and I'm going to say DraftKings, promo code THPN. Our friends at DraftKings, the number one sportsbook in the whole world, bar none, undisputed heavyweight champion of the daily fantasy world, easily. Tons of sports books all over America as well. So we've been partnered with DraftKings for a long time now. They've done a lot of good for us. And they've also given our listeners such a good opportunity to be able to have promo codes and such cool events. And we've done some of ourselves. So definitely look into... Sorry, Rob, I just read your comment there. Definitely look into some hockey contests. That's my bread and butter right there. For me, when I'm on DraftKings, I love going to the head-to-head. Give me a $50 entry head-to-head NHL, because I know if there's a few thousand people, maybe less chance. But I know if I go head-to-head against some guy named Aunt Judy's a loser, done. I win every time. So that's my secret for DraftKings. Head-to-head's the way to go. But you got the Masters coming up as well right now. I hinted at that last time. Masters starting on Thursday. Good old Augusta. Now, actually, Josh, we'll talk about this more on Thursday because I want to bring up some Masters odds and I want to get your picks on a bit of a reach for some. But, dude, I'm looking at Molinari, dude. The guy's 80-1, which means he's going to have a low salary on DraftKings. If there's ever a steal when it comes to the Masters, it's Molinari coming down on the back nine on Sunday. That guy's a buzzsaw out there. So, yeah, anyone out there, any one of our listeners, go to DraftKings.com. Use our promo code at sign up. Helps you get a free entry with your first deposit. That's promo code THPN. There are eligibility restrictions and geographical restrictions as well, so please check the details of that before you get started. Other than that, boys, it is episode 32, Spike TV channel, as I was telling Josh, and he refuted that claim. But Josh, what the fuck's up with Alberta and their channel listings, dude?
You guys don't have Spike?
No, we do. It was just channel 43.
32.
No,
32, right?
32 all the way.
Man,
what do you guys think was the best show that ever came out of Spike TV?
Okay, so this was a conversation.
That's
I said
a really good question.
I was going to say, could we do an entire Goats and Moats just off of Spike TV?
Absolutely.
Shows?
Easily.
I don't
there's
know.
18 shows out there?
I don't know.
I can give you my top 3 right now. No problem.
Okay.
Don't do it, though.
Why?
Don't do it. No,
or
do it. Let's just talk about it. Let's talk about
Most Extreme Elimination Challenge, number 1, all the way.
Dude, I started watching that again.
Dude, fucking hilarious. 1,000 Ways to Die and Blue Mountain State. Best Spike shows. Best shows on Spike. Deadliest Warrior was up there too. I watched a lot of Spike TV as a kid. I was way too fucking young for it.
Mine, that Deadliest Warrior was like unreal. Like everything. Yeah. It was so sick. Okay. Number 2, I really liked what was it? Bar Rescue. Bar Rescue is dope. And actually, no, you know what? I'll slot that in at number 3. Number 2 was Pros versus Joes. That came up as a GOAT when we did our TV shows. And I stand by that. It was so funny.
I think you're the only person I know who went to Spike TV to watch reality TV shows.
Yeah.
Everybody else is watching like fucking game shows and everything like that. You're just like Pros versus Joes.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and say the only 2. I can only think of 2 right now. First one, Mansers. Duh.
Yeah, Mansers.
Mansers was sick. Mansers, yeah, honorable mention.
Back when toxic masculinity was not like it was not a phrase we used. It was just a channel.
Could you imagine if that show was on today? Canceled.
Immediately.
That would be fireworks.
Well, it's like, think about even something like the early episodes of Family Guy or like the early episodes of South Park. Like, you can't air those today.
No chance.
There's so many inappropriate offside jokes that if you just did, like, your show would be immediately ripped from the air.
Yeah, exactly.
But it I get a bit nostalgic, and I watch those. And I'm like, fuck, we used to live like that. Damn.
Yeah. Have you guys
Those were
ever
some
like
fun days?
quick little tangent? Have you guys ever gone back and like watched early episodes of like South Park or Family Guy or anything, or like
Dude,
The Simpsons?
I rebought. So like on Netflix, like as soon as they went from like the 18 by 12 on TV, and then they did like the bit, and then they went to like full screen TV. Like that was in season 8.
HD.
Dude, I went back like maybe couple months ago. I went back and bought seasons 2 through 7.
Yeah, they're great, right?
They were so funny, dude. They were so funny.
Yeah. The artwork changes so much throughout like the first few seasons too. Like it's actually ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like
sure.
Family Guy kind of stayed true to it, but like if you look at The Simpsons, like the first season of The Simpsons looked completely different. Or even like South Park was pretty consistent, but
yeah.
South Park was like the cutout construction paper stop motion kind of stuff though. So it was very like the first season was very choppy. But it was sick. Like they did back in like 97, didn't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Family
Guy was 99, I want to say.
Whew.
Which is fucked to think about how I was 3 years old when the first episode of Family Guy aired, which is so weird. But anyway, boys, so how are we doing, Raph? Like, what's up, buddy? Like, how are you?
Oh, just fucking out here chilling. My power just came back on like 15 minutes before we started recording, which is great.
Yeah, holy
fuck. Yeah, like it was nuts. Like I remember I was it's like my weekend right now, right? So I got home, I took like a quick nap, and then I like turned on my computer, and I was like, fuck, like I could really go for a beer. So I drove out to the liquor store, and without like I was maybe gone for 5 minutes, and I get a call from my sister being like, hey, like all of our power's out. And it's like, for a lot of you people who don't live in the Lower Mainland, like, dude, the weather's fucked today. Like we saw hail across the Lower Mainland, we saw rain, we saw sun. I think we had like 40-kilometer winds.
Yeah.
Trees getting knocked over, power lines going down. Like it's actually insane right now.
I don't know about you guys, but I fucking hate the wind. You know how like some people can justify like, you know what, like I don't mind, like me, like I actually like the snow. Like if I'm dressed for the weather, like I love the snow.
Yeah.
But dude, like wind, like whether it's sunny, whether it's raining, whether it's snowing, the wind fucking sucks. As soon as it gets too windy, you can't even, like, it just pierces your fucking head.
Yeah.
Gives you a killer headache. Like it's brutal. And I think I've said this before, but Lethbridge in Alberta, notorious for like high winds. And like when you drive down there, there's so many windmills for good reason. But apparently like Lethbridge has high suicide rates because of migraines that are caused by wind. Which is wild. Yeah. Like,
interesting.
Yeah.
I believe it.
It's a fucked concept. So like I'm not a fan of the wind. Like strong winds, I should say.
Fair. Dude, speaking of like the power going out, everything though, quickly, one of my neighbors, I'd say he's like 3 or 4 houses down. He has a generator running. He had a generator running the entire time the goddamn power was out.
Good kid. Good guy.
Yeah, good kid until it's like you realize you're 3 or 4 houses down and you can hear his fucking generator running at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Like my family's all going to bed. Like my parents went to bed and my sister went to bed. And like my mom's just like, somebody needs to go turn off that fucking generator right now. She's like, I feel bad for our neighbors who live closer to this asshole.
Oh, dude, you're like 3 houses down.
Yeah, right. And it's like this thing that's like you can like hear it. You can like it's like rumbling through the walls. It's actually nuts.
Holy fuck! That's
heavy duty fucking generator. Yeah.
Yeah, I was driving today, and when I left my house, I had intended to play sports outside because it was blue skies and good vibes everywhere. And literally 20 minutes, I drove into a black abyss, and it like you said, it was the flick of a switch. I was on the phone with someone, and before I knew it, there was fucking branches of trees flying down, and the hail, dude. I thought my windshield was gonna break. It was nuts.
Yeah. Do you guys know how hail's formed?
Yeah, it's when it gets really when it's really hot, and then all of a sudden gets really cold just out of nowhere.
And then it freezes back and forth. So like when it freezes, it'll then melt back into water, and they'll freeze back into snow, and then it'll keep going back and forth, and they'll eventually form a hail.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't think you guys have ever dealt with this in BC as much as Alberta, but dude, like Alberta, like they'll get like fucking hailstorms, and the hail is the size of fucking golf balls, boys.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally like you know, like when you would have a snowball fight in school, and like that one kid accidentally like threw ice at your face because like the snow, like a complete accident. That's what it basically is.
Yeah, but that being said, though, when hail's like the size of little like BBs or something like that, it's not any fun either. It just fucking hurts. It's like
No,
sharp, stinging pains.
that's like stings. But dude, like
Yeah.
fucking golf balls coming from the sky, like that's.
Oh
fucking
yeah, you're welted.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Fucking
Anyways, that was my
blows.
day. How are you guys doing today?
Dude, I'm good.
Yeah.
I found a new chocolate bar. Okay, so I was in Rexall. I just had to just.
What the fuck?
I know.
I'm sorry, what?
I know. Found a new chocolate bar, different flavor. Holy fuck!
How are you still discovering new chocolate bars?
I know, but just hear me out because it's new. It literally said on the label it was new. So it's
Okay.
It's a Kit Kat chunky.
Yeah.
Okay, but then they added like a layer of cookie dough.
Yeah.
Dude,
So sick.
Dude, I had a bite.
Bruh.
Like I had one, and like it was a small one. Like it wasn't a fucking large one. Thank God, dude. It was so filling.
Really?
Like, and it was so rich, but Jesus Christ, it was good. It was
honestly,
on sale like 2 for $4, so I'm like, yeah, I'll get 2.
Honestly, all things considered, that was a chocolate bar, but I thought you would have fucking learned your lesson after those weird flavored cheeseburger chips that you had the other day. They used to taste like vomit.
The
dude,
Pringles.
The Pringles, that's what it was.
The Baconator
Yeah.
Pringles are actually like the worst chip of all time. Like, no, like the worst. Like, I hate certain potato chips, but like I'll bear them. Dude, those ones actually tasted like puke. Anyway, yeah.
Anyway, we digress.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
Well, I'm about to digress. Not really. Have you guys ever fucked with like the specialty Kit Kats? You know, like they're like the big size bars, and they're like, like unique flavors. They're like $5 sometimes.
I thought you were gonna. Do you remember the ones that Justin brought us from Japan one time?
Yeah. Those are like straight up Asian Kit Kats. Like that was like matcha.
There's a
flavor.
wasabi. There's a matcha one. There was a wasabi flavored one.
I bet a matcha flavored Kit Kat would actually be pretty unreal.
It's unreal. It's super good.
Yeah.
There was like a mango one too, I think.
Yeah.
Or something weird like that. Yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about, right? In the stores, there's like cookies and cream one. There's I don't know. I think I've tried it once, but I'm a little bit of a frugal guy when it comes to chocolate bars. I'm all about Dollarama and just load me up.
Yeah,
on
dude.
some
Like
fucking Aero mints.
Like 2 for
Dollarama.
50 cents.
Okay, we must have done a goats and woats of chocolate bars at some point, right?
Yeah, we have. 100%.
We have.
We have, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 'cause that's
You
like
guys ripped me because I said coffee crisp.
Oh, okay.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of a sus decision for sure.
Yeah.
Fucking sick chocolate bar.
So,
I love
fellas, I'm fucking exhausted for some reason too. I don't know why. I hate bringing that energy to the pod because I feel like that's Raffles' shtick. I don't really like want to take it from him.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, dude. I don't know what it is. Something's hitting me. Something's hitting me a bit weird today. But I got some cardio workout in today. I've been eating healthy. Maybe my body just misses those good old trans fats. That could be exactly what it is. Yeah.
Go.
Well, I
Like
have a
when
question
Josh-
for you.
When Josh said chocolate bar, dude, this vein in my neck started like popping up a bit. I started getting some like itches in the back of my tongue. You know?
Yeah.
I love that.
What's
Yeah, I have a question for you. What if, so obviously you're on this journey to become a more fit individual overall.
Yeah.
Do you think you having something like a Fitbit or like an Apple Watch or something that tracks your progress, do you think that encourage you to work out, or do you think that discourage you to work out? Do you think it overall help you in your journey?
No, I'm
Do you think
a
it'd
weird
just be
kind
like,
of guy like that.
you think you just ignore it?
I've had a Fitbit before.
Yeah.
And like I guess it would be like it's kind of cool knowing how many steps you take, but in terms of actual workouts, like I would just never use it for that. I don't know why. I hate having things on for workouts. Like I can't do headphones. Like I don't know what it is. I'm a very sweaty person. And so when I fuck with headphones, it's just another thing that like makes me feel gross. So headphones are a no-go, like watches. So I try and keep it bare bones, t-shirt, shorts, max, sometimes neither of those.
Okay. Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Try. Fellas, what should we move into first? I've got a pressing question to ask you guys, just because it needs to be solved in my mind. But I know you guys also have some other questions. Who wants to lead us off with some sort of fucking gib or gab here?
Okay.
We want to talk about?
Okay. Well, I have a question here for you boys.
Hit me.
Oh.
Are paper, and this is gonna sound like this is such a bland question, but like, it's like the topic is just so fucked. But are paper bags making a comeback, or is it just me?
100%.
Like, so I went into 7-Eleven the other day, obviously getting a bag of chips. What's up? Went into Rexall today, got my Kit Kat chunky and like a small little 2-liter thing of milk. and paper bag. And I'm like, the fuck is going on here, boys? Like, where's the plastic? Now, my question to you guys is, what do you guys do with your excess plastic bags if you don't already have, like, you know how people are like environmentally friendly and they buy like cloth bags from the grocery store and just bring those when they go grocery shopping?
Yeah.
So, like, are you guys plastic bag guys? Like, where are we at with the paper here? I hate paper bags. I fucking hate them.
Well, the paper bags are compostable, right? So
I know,
and
that's the
recyclable.
thing. Like, I know it's recyclable, but I just like, dude, like today, what if you don't have a car and you're walking home and it's pissing rain like it was today, and you got paper bags? Like, you got like 10 minutes before those things are out and about onto the sidewalk. Am I not?
Do you not have an umbrella in this situation?
Well, what if your hands are full? Where are you going to hold the umbrella?
I'm sure you could find a way to fashion an umbrella somehow in there, but okay.
Yeah, but
I see his point. Paper bags,
thank
just
you.
not. There's a reason they stopped using them.
Okay, what's the reason?
Well, sorry, I just wanted to point out someone did notice your candle there, Josh.
Yeah,
I did notice a little bit of a glow, huh?
Dude, this is my vigil for the Vancouver hockey season after how.
Hey, whoa, let's chill the fuck out on that, dude.
I was gonna bring it up when we started talking about Vancouver, but that's what it's for.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. No, but that's the reason paper bags were stopped being used, is because plastic was more convenient, dude. You could have handles on it, or you could have handles on paper bags too. But there's just a multitude of reasons that they switched.
Environmental friendliness is probably like the number one reason, though.
And it's fucking cost effective to use plastic. That's why they went to it in the first place.
Yeah. I'm a fan.
Do you want to know what I do with my fucking plastic bags? Are you ready for this, dude?
I
don't know if I'm actually ready for this.
I'm going to be impressed with the amount of plastic bags he has loaded up.
So I recycle all my plastic. This is all like this is a sick marketing opportunity. Hey, I've got I don't know what happened. I became obsessed with recycling, and this is actually ironic because like today when I was playing basketball with someone, one of our friends was like, "Hey guys, you know that recycling's like." It's a joke, right? Like if they don't actually do it, it just all goes to the dump. And I was like, no, dude, you go to the dump. Your brain's from the dump, idiot. Because so that recycling stuff right there, that's basically like loose plastic. So like plastic bags, like if you bought toilet paper, like the wrapping that goes over the big bag of toilet paper.
Yeah.
Like that kind of plastic. So that all goes to one spot. And then things like crinkly plastic. So like bags of chips, Ziploc bags, things like that goes in another basket. I'm basically I'm team green over here.
There you go.
I bleed green for some, if you know what I mean.
Good for you. Good.
No free ads.
Yeah, no free ads at all. I don't know what happened there. I think our viewers spiked to like 12 at one point when I brought up the recycling. So maybe that's just like a buzzword that you need to hit.
Keep talking about recycling. Keep going.
Yeah, just keep doing it. I'm gonna recycle my shirt off my body if I have to. So that's what I do with my plastic bag. And obviously, you start throwing the like empty beer cans in there too, Josh. That's the biggest use for them.
There you go. I love it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
I have this question. And I was trying to get answers from people, and when I say I'm trying to get answers from people, I'm basically searching for people to agree with me, not disagree. So I'm looking for the right answer. So holidays is something I want to talk about. So what do you guys think? What do you think about holidays in the next 50 to 100 years? Specifically things like, I don't want to sound like a dick when I say this, but like Remembrance Day, because this is my thought and this is like, obviously not trying to offend anyone when I say that. That's probably I don't know. Do you think like there's probably going to be a day where we don't really remember things like World War I or II, right?
No chance.
What do you mean?
Dude,
I think we're always going to remember it to some degree.
Well, okay,
like is it slowly going to become less less relevant in people's lives? Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
but like it's still going to be remembered. Like think about all those wars think about all those all the crusades and everything that we had to study throughout high school, right? Like I'm pretty sure everyone still remembers about those. Like those were incredible wars, and it's like sure we don't relate to them as much as other people did back in the day. But it's like we still kind of learned about them, so people will still remember about the World War I, World War II. Like they were called the Great Wars. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, no. I think what I mean by it is so the reason I go for the holiday aspect of it too is because yeah, like school and what you actually learn, completely different side, because we learned about so many things. Like they still teach you about like the fucking Wu dynasty, like stuff that happened in like the 700s, like things that are so old. But the thing that I found, I got on this because I thought, okay, when COVID's over, like we'll probably have some sort of like holiday or celebration, whether it be 1 year or for many years after, about like to commemorate what happened or remember what happened. But when you think about Remembrance Day, it's kind of built, and I'm sure there's other holidays too, but you could theoretically say, okay, if it's not 100 years from now, what about 800 years from now? Like they're not going to be talking about World War I or II in the same context that we are 800 years from now.
100%. Yeah. The relevance is going to slowly dissipate.
Yeah.
And so
what about something like Labor Day?
Yeah. Like that's gone.
20 years. See you later. By Labor Day.
Yeah. Probably.
But
Victoria Day.
I'll let you talk in a second, Josh, but like, what was it? What did Kanye say? I'll let you talk in a second. Who actually was he saying?
I'm gonna let you finish.
I'll let you finish, but Raph had one of the best comebacks in this year.
No, but so fuck. Did I almost forget what I was gonna say?
Absolutely.
I think fuck.
Is it my turn?
Sucks, dude. Go for
yes,
it.
absolutely.
Yeah, fuck you, Karma. Boys, I don't know, man. Like, I think when you think like 800 years down the road, like Elijah said, like we looked at like the Wu dynasty in 700. Like, dude, like, 800 years, like 1,000 years later, if not, I think I can't do the math right now, but it's like
1,400 almost.
1,400, 1,300 years later, we're talking about it. So I would say that like at least maybe World War II would be still talked about. Like you have to remember, like that shaped like whether or not like our world was going to be taken over. Like massive genocide. Like I would say the only way that kind of gets overpowered would be like if there's another war like that, which 100% there would be. But you have to remember, like, dude, like all the technology, like everything that like from 1900 to where we are now, like, dude, like that was like the turn of a century. Technology, electronics, like how we communicate with one another around the world. Like there was just so much stuff.
I have a question.
Yeah. Is it going to tail off? Oh,
kind of.
Go ahead.
Little, maybe like it's still topical. Do you think with obviously the world getting older and technology developing more, do you think there's going to be a point in our lifetime where the Cold War is viewed as a more impactful war than World War II? Because the Cold War will eventually be like this one war that we always talked about that never really got to its full potential, and if it did, would have wiped out almost everybody. It would have destroyed civilizations.
Well, I mean, like I think the biggest thing is like with the Cold War, a lot of it was very much based on like nuclear warfare.
100%, but it was basically just like a giant pissing contest of everyone saying like, "I've got more nukes than you do. Don't make me do it."
Sure. But I think also at the same time, like I feel like, World War II, like that's what ended World War II.
Yes.
Were the two nukes in Japan.
Yeah.
So like, and those were ever the only like, weren't those ever the only nuclear bombs that were actually like launched ever? Dropped?
In an attacking attempt, yeah. Like obviously they had nukes that were being tested and everything like that. But
that's the thing. Like, so I don't know. I feel like World War II, like and that kind of plays into my point before, is like, dude, like World War II, two were dropped, and then no one's had the balls to drop another one. And there's
the reason being is the closest we got was during the Cold War.
Well,
and
I
think because they realized that
the potential of what those two nukes did, and then they realized how many nukes everybody actually had, and then they quickly did the math in their head.
I think
2 + 2 = 4, and then the world's gone.
I think the other thing is the Cold War was a cause of World War II.
Absolutely, yes.
You know what I mean?
Because people realized what kind of weapons they could create.
Well, not only that, but it was also just a fight on ideologies of and democracy.
Yeah, true. It was a lot more political.
Yeah.
Right?
Good points.
Rapid.
One of the last things I'll say about it is what Josh hinted at is I think what will end up happening is there'll be a different war that you start remembering. Like the idea of Remembrance Day, it actually will be. I think it will always be a holiday because unfortunately we probably will have a war every like 200 years or something like that.
Yeah. But
like
you know
some sort of
what, though?
fucking momentous occasion.
And that's where I think
Momentous.
Remembrance Day, though, I think that's why it will never go away, because there's always soldiers actually dying. Like, you know, as much as like Remembrance Day was started from World War One. Like, I think that's where maybe World War One will not get forgotten, is because that day was created because of World War One. Same with World War Two. And then as we go on with these wars, soldiers are going to continue to die, and we are going to continue to remember them. And I think that's why November 11th won't go away.
Fair.
That's true.
My opinion.
That's a good point. I do want to bring in a little question from the chat. Just where was it? It was from Dano D4. He said, "Will we start having stat holidays for other religions other than Christian?" So basically, like Christmas, Easter, what else? Thanksgiving.
Well, here's kind of like I don't know. I think it'd be hard, but I mean, you have to remember, like, the Western world was shaped on Christianity.
Yeah.
You know, like, we're not, like, the only way that I think that would happen is if, you know, another religion were to colonize us, and we're you know what I mean? Like, we would have to get dominated by another religion, which would mean a huge ass fucking war.
I see what your direction you're going with, but I don't think it's like that. I think nowadays there's a lot of focus and a lot of attention on just like what's the word for it? Kind of just like evening things out, like acknowledging and respecting, or whatever you want to say, about each people's different sectors of things, each people's religions and holidays and stuff. And I do think, isn't there an opening for a stat in March? I think it is March or February. I don't think we have an
opening for a stat.
Yeah, it's March I'm pretty sure March. We don't have a stat.
A different holidays just going to start applying for said opening.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, that's, dude, BC and Canada, we got an opening. Come on. Yeah. March. Set in your applications. I mean, we got one of my good friends is Muslim, and he's always talking about Ramadan, but that thing moves every 2 weeks, so you can't have that as a stat.
Does it?
But yeah, I don't really know the details of it. I think when they fast, it moves. Maybe it's the start or the end. Cool. Actually, either or, it moves back 2 weeks every year.
So let me ask you this then. If you guys could scrap one holiday, doesn't have to be a stat, just can be a holiday, which one would you guys get rid of?
My liver says St. Patrick's Day. And my brain says...
My heart says Valentine's Day.
Oof. Oof.
Can we just scrap Family Day so we could somehow reshape that into like the Boys' Day, you know?
Yeah. No, I was thinking Family Day too. I'd probably say see you later to Labor Day. I don't give a shit about Labor Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I was going to say that too.
I don't mind Labor Day because my birthday usually falls on that, and that means I get a long weekend. But
yeah, but like a lot of people also finish like some sort of summer vacation or whatever, and then boom, it's like they come back for a couple of days, and then Labor Day hits. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't need to be there.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. What's the holiday in May? Is it Mother's Day or is there something? No,
May.
It's like
I'm just gonna pull up this. I'm just gonna pull up this comment quickly here. Elijah's hair and beard says any day but 420.
Dude, when I get tired, man, my fucking eyes, like, they get so heavy, and I'm looking at myself in the camera once in a while, and I'm sitting here like and I'm so focused, but I do not look like it whatsoever.
Looking straight out of Pineapple Express.
Yeah, seriously. Fuck. Yeah, what about you, Josh? Did you already answer?
Oh man, I don't know, man. Like maybe trying to think of a holiday. I don't want to say Boxing Day. Honestly, I would maybe say.
Ooh, question.
I don't know.
What happens in June?
Wait.
What happens in June?
Do you give up Boxing Day or do you give up Black Friday?
Oh, Black Friday, because it doesn't even do it. Like, they're the same thing in Canada.
Yeah, they're both sales, but like when I don't know. I personally, I'd be okay without having what's it called, Boxing Day.
I kind of like having Boxing Day because then it gives me an excuse. If I don't get someone a Christmas gift, I'm like, bro, I just had to wait for Boxing Day. My bad.
You know what? Maybe New Year's Day. New Year's Day is like, fuck it. Like,
yeah, after this year, after us like spending New Year's all at home and whatnot, like not really doing anything. Yeah, like, I kind of agree.
I find New Year's Day is actually like a very depressing holiday because you get a stretch, right? You get Christmas Eve, you get Christmas Day, you get Boxing. There's 4 or 5 day difference of you're like, what the fuck is going on? I'm so fat, my liver hurts. Yeah. And then you get New Year's Eve, and then you're like, oh my God, like New Year's Day, like this is like the last fucking day before I have to go back to reality and not live up to my New Year resolutions. You know, like I'd much rather like go out with a bang and then just show up to work like hungover and still hammered from the night before and just go.
Josh, if you want to do that, you just don't have to take the next day off. It's not that hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Just fucking walk in.
but most people have the day off, though, is what I'm saying.
Fair.
Because it is a stat.
Where does Cinco de Mayo fall into all this?
I think it's just something on the iPhone calendar that reminds me, and I don't even pay attention to it.
Well, I think that's the Hispanic St. Patrick's Day, maybe.
No, Cinco de Mayo that's the Hispanic Day of Independence, isn't it?
Oh, okay, cool.
But yeah,
something like that.
Yeah. Anyway,
we're very uneducated.
Can we go into hockey here?
Yeah, 100%.
Considering that we are a hockey podcast.
It's having a lot of fun with that.
100%. We're a hockey podcast. StickinRink Hockey Podcast is what our t-shirts say. All of you listeners at home, we know you're wearing your StickinRink underwear as well. The man thong flying off the shelves. I know you guys with the dirt trails down below. You love it going right up that hoop. So thank you for supporting the cause there. Fellas, it's officially the hiatus week for the Canucks. I've hinted at it in the past week and a half or so, saying that this was the most important stretch for the Canucks because it's when people are supposed to make up their game in hands. Well, no, fuck you, Elijah, because Montreal has COVID and they just get to postpone every game, which is not sick. And I don't really know where it's going anymore, guys, because I mean, we have 6 games in hand on them and they still aren't playing games. So like, what the fuck?
How does that impact the rest of the league?
Well, it's kind
actually been pretty good, to be honest. From what I've heard, like baseball's already starting like spring training and everything, and they're already getting fucking COVID cases and shit. I mean, granted, the Eastern teams are playing in Florida where COVID just is not a thing. So I can totally see that side of it. But for the most part, like hockey's actually been, knock on wood, pretty good so far this year. Like there's only been a couple postponements, so it's pretty successful in my eyes.
Cool. Yeah, definitely a big success for that stuff. I would say that the North Division is really kind of the most fucked up one because in the North Division, you've got the team with the lowest amount of games played in the league at 31, with that being Montreal. And you've also got the team with the highest amount of games played being the Canucks at 37.
Yeah.
So us having 6 games in hand on a team that really can't make up any games right now, what that kind of means is unless they figure something out, unless they have another hole in the Canadian schedule coming up, they're going to end up having to go to win percentage, which really fucks the Canucks because now that doesn't that's our win percentage is such shit. And the only way we make up ground is if we have extra games to do that.
So let me ask you this then, E.
Yeah.
What if, if Montreal continues with this whole COVID shit and we're supposed to play Montreal and all those games get pushed back to the end of the year, like, does that not heat things up for Vancouver? Know what I mean?
Sorry, was that scenario one where like we still end the season playing them?
Yeah, like where like our games get played because we can't play Montreal. So it's like, okay, the makeup games are actually going to be at the end of the year. So like you could end up playing like 3 or 4 against Montreal.
I mean, that's the interesting thing is I've heard a lot of different things thrown around about what they're going to do if COVID continues to make a disparity in the games played, like if it just makes it bigger and unsolvable, because that's the entire NHL schedule was kind of built on this idea that every team had that week break built in there in case they had a COVID delay, so that they could just push games into that week break. Well, the Canadians already had theirs, and now I think they've had 3 breaks in total. I think 2 because of COVID.
Oh, wow.
If I'm right. Yeah. So it's all types of fucked up.
Now, what about this, though? Because, like, obviously, the NHL still has a schedule to maintain of when the regular season actually ends. So, would it not kind of be biting Montreal? Because if you think it's like, okay, the regular season has to be done by this day, and maybe they give, like, a week gap of when it actually ends, and then they take in COVID, it's like, but we need to start playoffs by this time. So do you think that Montreal, because they're dealing with COVID, they're going to be dealing with a lot more back-to-backs because they have to make up all these games? You know what I mean? So they play, like they're going to play a more congested schedule, which 100%. Means less rest, stuff like that. And like when you're going on the road, like that shit doesn't change, you know? So you could be going back to back in Winnipeg and then, okay, cool. And then the very next night, one day off, and then you're back to back in Edmonton, then you go to Calgary or go back home, like whatever it may be. Like it's just not as spread out as Montreal would like it.
Yeah.
Which could benefit us.
Totally. Exactly. Like the more fucked up we can make their schedule, the better odds we have of them continuing to stumble, because here we are. I mean, I think, like I said, we have 6 games in hand on them, and I think they're 2 points up on us. So that's, I mean, listen, that's why the entire Canucks fan base is quite pessimistic on what's going to happen here. I get it. Like the numbers say that we have like a 3% chance of making the playoffs, but at the same time, there's so many circumstances that allow 3% in. If you just take 3% at face value, you're not considering the circumstances that this season is putting into play. For example, the games remaining against Montreal. The fact that, like Josh pointed out, they have all these double headers. Like I'm looking at their schedule now. If they play the game on Tuesday against Edmonton and they continue to play from there on, they'll play 6 games in 9 days out of the bat. So that's that's fucked. And then they go in, they have 9 days, and then it just keeps going. Like after that, there's not really a break. So
they're going to burn themselves out. Hopefully by the end of the season. Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing is like when you're playing like those teams, you know, like Edmonton, like you're trying to get yourself out of the 4th spot.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to do that because, you know, Vancouver and Calgary are going to be hot on your heels.
Yeah. You want to give yourself a bit of a cushion just in case.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, as soon as you're in that 4th seed, like you're on the hot seat. And, you know, obviously like there's games at hand and whatnot, but you know, you're, like Ralph said, the burnout definitely could be real. And you're going to have to start relying on Jake Allen a little bit more if you're Montreal, for sure.
Yeah, and I'm looking at it now. I don't even think the Canucks have any games left against Montreal. I think we played all of them.
Yeah.
Easy.
How many games do we have left in the season so far?
We have 37 played, so we have 19 left.
That's not bad.
Yeah, 19 games.
How are we looking at all of our injuries right now, too?
Oh, there's tons.
Nobody's back anytime soon, eh?
I have 3 candles lit for the 3 hurt centers that we have. So
is the 4th one Bo Horvat, the one that's like barely playing?
Yeah, that one's barely lit, dude.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough situation. I mean, I look at it as maybe even catching Edmonton might be the better bet because like they have one less game played than us, I think, and they're I think they're 9 points up on us or 8 or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but we have games in hand against them. So like anytime you have games against someone, that's ultimately where you'll make up your ground. So don't lose hope, boys. It's still possible. You just got to tell yourself that over and over again. And anytime you feel the doubt, you crack a beer. That's called alcoholism, but it helps in this kind of situation. Fellas, should we move on a bit? I mean, Canucks are on hiatus here. We don't have much going on. What I want to hear right now is I want to hear, Josh, why the fuck did Max Verstappen's team tell him to let Hamilton take the lead back? Why did he give it up? What's this talk? What's this talk about he was going to get a time penalty? Bullshit, dude. He overtook him. That's how the sport works.
Okay. So here's the thing: is I woke up today at 8 a.m. and I watched the race. Now, what happened was
the Bahrain Grand Prix.
The Bahrain Grand Prix. It was opening day for F1. I couldn't be happier. So one of the rules of F1 is if all 4 wheels are off the track and you gain a position by going off the track, you have to give that position back, or you get a time penalty, which could basically mean a 10-second stop and go, or they could give you a 10-second penalty and like they'll let you finish the race in whatever position you're in, and whatever time that is, they'll add on 10 seconds onto that time. So if there's a car that finishes second and they're only 6 seconds behind, then that car actually wins first place and you'll take second. If not, and then like if third place is only 2 seconds, then you'll actually get third place, so on and so forth.
And it'll compound.
Yeah. So overall, it was actually a crazy race. Like it wasn't like there weren't really any crashes. There were a couple spin outs on the first lap by a couple rookies, but other than that, like the Bahrain track is decent. It's not one of my favorites in my opinion. It's a night race, which is kind of cool. But overall, I loved it.
All right. So let's talk about some storyline. I want to pick Josh's brain. I want to pick Josh's F1 brain. So bring me into this race. Like, what were some storylines going in? You obviously have big dick Lewis Hamilton coming in.
Yeah, I mean, like Lewis Hamilton, like this guy's led Mercedes to 7 world champions and 7 constructor champions. So basically, in a year, you've got the constructors championship, which is basically like it's a team. So like if like you would combine both your drivers' points. And then that goes towards like the Mercedes team. And then like you would combine both Ferrari drivers' points, that would go to Ferrari. And then like whoever has the most points team-wise gets the constructors. And then you have like your driver championship, which is just individual driver points. So, I mean, for this year, like Mercedes, I would say is the clear favorite. But dude, Red Bull showed me a lot.
Red Bull's got a good team, dude.
Dude, Hamilton.
I've been telling you this for a while.
Dude, Hamilton won by only like 5 seconds, and normally there's like a 15-second, 20-second gap between him and second place. So
what?
Coming out of winter testing, like Red Bull, I'm liking what Red Bull's doing this year. So they're usually a second place team. They always come behind Mercedes, always, for the last 7 years.
Would you say that they're also probably one of the newer teams in the F1 scene?
Yeah, I mean, Red Bull's been around, I think, since like 2007, 2006. So all the previous world champions, 4 of them have been from Red Bull, all from the same guy, Sebastian Vettel. Then he left Red Bull, went to Ferrari. Yeah. And Lewis Hamilton went to Mercedes, and Mercedes has fucking dominated. Like, it has not even been close. So that's kind of the 1-2. Then you have what you call like the midfield. And the midfield's interesting because like how F1 works is depending on where you finish in the Constructors Champion, because there's only 10 teams, 2 drivers per team, so 20 people on the grid.
Yeah.
You get X amount of dollars depending on where you finish in the constructors. So added to your budget, which basically means millions of dollars added onto your car that you can spend on the next year. So the middle pack is just, it's up in the air right now. I would say the third place team looking right now, McLaren looked nice. Ferrari is coming off of such a shit year. They're so like their budget is second highest, and they came 7th out of or 6th out of 10 teams last year. Like it was just embarrassing.
Oh, weird.
So they're probably going to battle for 3rd or 4th with McLaren, and then you've got like Aston Martin, Alpine, which is like Renault's old team. So it's quite a lot to kind of comprehend, I would say. But I would say. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I think Ferrari and McLaren is going to be the headline this year. I think it's going to go. If I could see Red Bull and Mercedes battle for first, that would be amazing.
Yeah,
and then that would make 3rd and 4th place even that much more important as well.
So, I want to get into some names here because, as far as I know, Kimi Räikkönen is still the up and comer and probably going to take pole position every race. I remember the score days. Big Finnish fan as well.
Yeah,
but Raph is saying that Verstappen's pretty good. I'm looking. I don't understand because all I remember is watching Turn Left NASCAR, and these guys do not finish races with fucking Lewis Hamilton. The guy in 3rd place was almost 40 seconds behind him.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you do to get 40 seconds behind someone?
Well, that's the thing, right? Like that's where you have where the spending comes in and the funding and how much money you put into your racing team. You have to remember, like the people that run Mercedes, like that is the actual car company that owns that team, right? Yeah. Ferrari would own their own team, but then you have teams like that are individually owned by like an actual person. So
yeah,
for example, Aston Martin is just a sponsor of a team. They're called Aston Martin just because like it's a good name to have in racing. However, the guy that actually owns the team, Lawrence Stroll, is a billionaire. He's Canadian, and his son drives for his team. But like he's just one guy opposed to like an actual constructor like a Ferrari, like a Mercedes. so on and so forth. So you have certain actual car companies that make engines for these teams. So I'll give you an example. So like Aston Martin uses a Ferrari engine. Like, but all they get is just like a base Ferrari engine. All the
like no tunes, no mods, nothing.
No tunes, nothing. That is up to the Aston Martin team to find out what works for them and that type of thing. So like Red Bull, for example, like they don't build anything and they're an energy drink company. They're supplied from Honda, right? So it's kind of an interesting one like that.
Repping Honda, dude. I love that. I should be cheering for Red Bull then.
Dude, hop on the train, man. Hop on the train.
My initial analysis of F1 is it sounds a bit corrupt because how come the teams that are already winning are getting more money? Shouldn't we do a little NHL draft status and the worst team gets more money?
Well, yeah, that's kind of the biggest thing, right? Like you have like lower budget teams and it's an unfair game. And when you guys watch Drive to Survive, they bring it up in like the 3rd and 4th episode. Like you have to be very wealthy to join this sport. Like it is a rich game. Like I'm pretty sure Raph could probably Google this for me and maybe make a little bit more sense of it. But Mercedes' budget for 2020 or 2019 was like 480 million.
For 2019 it was 440 million.
Mercedes, what was Ferrari? 420, 410?
Ferrari.
Probably just do the whole thing like this, like F1 team spending, and it would probably give you something.
Yeah, they're currently talking about apparently drastically decreasing their cap to about 145 million
per team.
Well, that's for Ferrari,
right?
Oh, no, for all teams. Just kidding.
Yeah, so like that's kind of what they're doing right now. Is like to make it a little bit more level playing field. Now these big teams actually don't have as much money to spend.
Yeah, dude, you know what?
Makes it a little bit more competitive.
In 2019, the same year that I gave you that 440 for Mercedes, Ferraris was 460.
Yeah, so like the fact that like 2019, Ferrari finished 3rd in the constructors, and they're spending $20 million more than the winning team. So, you know, that could come down to a multitude of reasons. But
all right, let me try and understand how big of a dick Lewis Hamilton has here.
Okay.
So if we gave all the drivers the exact same car, exact same build, exact same everything, none of them had ever driven it. It's all new to them. Do you think Lewis Hamilton's still winning?
It's funny you should say that because there's a show that me and Raph always watched, and it was called Top Gear, as you know.
Yeah.
And what they had is they had a old, reasonably priced car designed for F1 drivers, and it was like this piece of shit, like 1996, like something Leon. I think it was like a Suzuki Leon. It was just an old thing with a roll cage, and they would bring certain drivers on. So they brought on Vettel, they brought on Hamilton, Mark Webber, like just like a bunch of F1 drivers. Now, I think they had 12 F1 drivers, and Hamilton was the fastest. He beat out Vettel. He beat out who was a world champion at that point. When they brought on Hamilton, he had just moved to Mercedes, so he wasn't quite a world champion yet. So I mean, in equal machines, like it's very hard, but you could put almost anyone in that Mercedes car and they would most likely win a race.
Yeah, I guess that's where I don't lose interest. I guess that's where my brain puzzles me a little bit because I want it to come down to the athlete, to the driver.
Yeah.
Whereas I get it because it's a team, right? Like like the whole team is part of it. The pit crew, people that design the cars, that balance the cars, everything like that. You're part of the team, but I would love to see it if we can make it about the drivers somehow, or even just like a singular event, like how golf does match play to mix things up once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we could do like a fucking little race here and there, throw Lewis Hamilton in just a Honda Civic and we just go at it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, and the one thing I like about F1 is just the speed, like just how fucking quick and how precise like these cars actually go. Like what these guys do is not easy. Like Lewis Hamilton is the fastest guy on the planet. Like he's the fastest person, like in a car.
Mm-hmm.
So it's wild to think that just like these guys are fighting for milliseconds when they qualify. Like it's nuts. Like what separates you starting first to starting last is probably like 2.5 seconds.
That's crazy.
Like that's like what $60 million spending a car on gets you.
2.5 seconds, yeah.
Spending $440 million, 2.5 seconds. That's fucking crazy. So it's an interesting sport, but it's very political as well. And Drive to Survive really shows that.
Just another little free ad for Drive to Survive. Josh is big on it. Just check it out, everyone, if you get a chance. Anyways, boys, we can move on here from the F1 talk. I'm big on F1 now, Josh. I'm sold. I did check DraftKings to see if they could do F1. They don't have it there right now, so I might have to find an alternative to betting on it, because that's how you'll get me hooked. I'm gonna bet. I might bet Verstappen every 365. There you go. I might bet Verstappen every game, every race.
Are you gonna get up early for races?
Does Lewis Hamilton ever lose?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like for sure. Like he'll never like win every single race. Like it's
all right. That's right.
There's so many intangibles that come into F1. I mean, like, as fast as you go, but like sometimes like your steering wheel, like the steering wheel alone is like 25K, which is actually fucked. Sometimes like it'll just go dead, or like the brakes fail, or your engine just all of a sudden just loses power. No one really like knows why. It just like it goes dead. Like you have to remember, like that's why it's so precise and like it's so used, it's so high tech that like these guys are putting these things right on the edge consistently. So it's not always guaranteed to work.
Okay, I wanted to one sec. What does the chat say? For the one guy's saying let's bring up the comment from Razor here. He says, Elijah, you have to see the news to see if Verstappen had a fight with his dad before the race. Apparently increases the odds of him winning. I'm down with that. I need some rage. Yeah. I need some dig down dirt. I need someone who like got into an argument with their girlfriend before the race. I'm betting the house on that guy. Okay, let's switch gears here. Let's get Josh fired up again. Now, I wanted to have this conversation on the podcast to have a record of it in my voice and in Josh's voice, just to hear him and how confident he is versus how confident I know I am when I say that the New England Patriots, led by Cam Newton, Bill Belichick, and the New England Patriots defense will have more wins than Tua fucking Tagovailoa next year and the Dolphins. That's easy. That's a slam dunk bet. Josh has refuted it many times. He does not believe it. Josh is letting his emotions get in the way right now. And it's sad to see, because I love him as a friend and I want what's best for him, but sometimes you need to hurt in this life to learn.
Elijah.
Yes.
I will, and this is live, and we'll sound clip it and I'll save it.
Oh, man, my word, Josh.
I'll actually do a virtual handshake with you right now. $100. The Dolphins will, and I'm not giving you odds. It's going to be straight up, because if you're confident,
me like that.
You're not going to get you odds. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to make you look like a pussy right now if you don't take the bet. $100 straight up. Dolphins have more wins than the Pats in the 2021-22 season.
In the fine print, can we just write down that if Elijah loses, he has to pay you within 48 hours?
No. So, well, sure. Or I'm going to smash his windshield. However,
you'd be doing me a favor, dude. There's a crack from all four quadrants of it right now.
But Raph, this is good for you, because I don't want you to root against me. But if you do, I understand. Because if Elijah wins, I'm going to pay you his $100 that he should.
Whoa,
he's already paid.
Chill out. Let's chill out.
I put this on the podcast. He paid me what was it, a week and a half ago?
I paid him.
You paid him?
A week, 3 months later, I think. 4 months later?
Yeah, dude, try
I think it was about 8 months, something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
I needed to let it simmer for a little bit. It wasn't coagulating the way it needed to in my brain.
All right.
I think once I found the sensor again, that really computed in my mind. I was like, okay, I've found peace with this. And but no, this bet is 100% on, Josh. I do want to somehow make a clause in this bet, since the schedules aren't out yet. I feel like whatever opponents you get out of division are like a big factor in this. as long as like preseason. Obviously, injuries affect during the season. I don't care about that. But I feel like I want to see the schedule just to make sure the Dolphins don't have like the fucking Jags twice or something like that, you know?
No, come on, be confident.
You know,
Pat should beat anybody.
And I should get this on the record. I'm not even that confident in the Pats. I'm just very confident that the Dolphins they're gonna trip over their own feet and they're gonna be like Snowflake from Ace Ventura, dude. They're going missing.
I don't know, man. Like, and here's my thing. Is like it's not even like a personal vendetta against you. I think the Pats, like they're not good enough offensively. Like, don't get me wrong, you're right. Like the defense opted out. 100% correct on that. And so when they do get back, for sure, like I think they will be better. My biggest thing is I can't trust Cam Newton. I cannot trust him. The Patriots have such a bad offense. Like they have one old fucking wide receiver in Julian Edelman. You've got 2 mediocre tight ends that you signed in the offseason. You have 3 running backs that you consistently just switch out on series. Like, and there's really no like consistency to it. You don't even have Steven Gostkowski anymore to kick your field goals. Like, I just worry about how this team is going to offensively produce. Now, when I look at Miami, their defense is good. They were better than the Pats last year. They were the highest scoring defense in the NFL. So that's going to help the offense a little bit. Are there question marks about Tua? 100%. But dude, like the amount of pieces that Miami has that they're going to draft this year, and also what they've had existed in previous drafts, dude, like they're going to be good. Like they're not going to be unreal. I'm not going to say they're going to compete with Buffalo, because I think we can both agree the Bills are going to shit kick the Dolphins and the Pats. So that's 4 guaranteed wins. However, the fight for second place, I don't see it. I cannot see it with New England. The reign is over. The reign is over.
I've hated the reign since day one because I hate seeing people succeed more than they're allowed to, aka what the Canucks can't do. But when you look at when you said it, the defense opted out. The defense is back, baby. Like and this is one thing.
Who are they bringing back? You've got Stephon Gilmore. You've got
okay, that's actually an asterisk. Their best defensive player, Stephon Gilmore, still might be traded. If he does get traded, we'll see what they get back. But what's that?
Did you guys look at the records for both teams from last season?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What were they again, Raph?
So the Dolphins were 10-6.
How are you?
And the Patriots were 7-9.
Yeah,
100%. So this is the biggest story of the Patriots season was that all of their good defensive players opted out of last season because of COVID. Now, let me just go through this, Josh, for you for a second, because you got Lawrence Guy coming back, you got Kyle Van Noy coming back, you have Deontay Hightower coming back, you have who are the twins?
The
McCourties. You got the McCourty twins coming back. You've got a player. I had the names down before. They acquired someone. No, I think is it Trent Brown. I think they might have acquired Trent Brown. I might be wrong on that. They acquired some guy through trade as well on defense. Their defense is going to fuck this year. Like they are top 3 defense. I stamp of approval on that one. Now, just Josh, let me write up a little scenario for you right now. Game 1 for the Dolphins starts. I don't care who the opponent is, as long as it's not someone like the Jags. Like as long as it's like a top 20 team.
Dude, I wouldn't shit on the Jags, man.
Who knows? They might be better next year, but whatever the Jags version is of next year.
Yeah.
When you see Tua march out to the field on your first possession, your first drive of the year, dude, like you can't be expecting much. Like he's showed nothing last year.
Yeah, but okay. Elijah, you have to remember here, like the Dolphins weren't expecting him to be the starter. Like that was never the game plan for Miami.
But why not?
Because you have Fitzpatrick to give him a year to work learn the playbook. Like you can't expect someone to come in instantly and perform. Now I'm going to relate this kind of back to hockey. Is Thatcher Demko?
Okay, we need to chill out on the relation here.
No, but I'm just saying, Elijah. Like the Canucks didn't fucking come out and instantly say Demko is going to be the starter. They brought in a veteran goalie to just in case Tua shit the bed. Now, the only difference is the roles are reversed. Miami had a veteran starter who was getting the job done. So why fix something that's not broken and then just let the rookie learn and start him in some games just to get some reps? Whereas the Canucks, it's like, okay, the veterans suck. We have to go to the rookie, and it paid off. So I'm just saying, like, the sample size on Tua, you can't judge that. He played 7 games, if not 6.
That's a lot of games.
No, it's not.
It's a lot of games. No,
Elijah,
what it is. You know what it is.
That's not even half a season. That's not a lot of games.
Well, okay, so you know what? I'll flip your point on you then. You're right. It's not a lot of games, but guess who's the starter this year? Tua.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So
he's got 6 games under his belt. That's good. He's going to learn the playbook. He's going to get healthy. It's another year. Like, he didn't do bad, but also remember, like, he wasn't terrible, but he also had some good moments too. Like, let's not forget about that. Like, he's good.
Here's where it comes down to is I'm confident that the 2 matchups, when it's New England versus Miami and Miami in Miami and in New England, as long as both teams are relatively healthy, star power on both sides, I'm betting New England every time. Because I have no faith in Tua. I think, and another thing is that my sports belief is that every sport, this goes for every sport. Anytime there's an off season where the team gets the biggest fish, or even they just get a good off season, if they have tons of additions and they're all pretty good on paper, it's hard to do, man. It's hard to incorporate a bunch of moves. Like look at the Bucks. Like, they figured it out in the end, but that's because Brady's a hell of an addition. But even they stumbled. What did they finish? 10-6, and that's 10-6 with Antonio Brown, Tom Brady, Gronk. Who else?
Godwin, like Evans, Fournette.
Yeah, like a completely new team of all-stars. And like, so the Miami version of that is you have Tua with no backup. You've got Will Fuller, who had one of the best QBs at his side for the last 5 years and couldn't do shit. And now, who else? Well, you have.
What? Okay. Well, I mean, with Will Fuller, I wouldn't really put that on Deshaun Watson. I mean, that guy had no one.
Like, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, but Will Fuller couldn't help him out at all.
Well, yeah, but I think also at the same time, like, their defense was so bad, it put more pressure on the Houston offense for Deshaun Watson to perform because they couldn't get stopped. Anyway, separate point. But I think also at the same time, like, dude, like, you have to remember, like, Miami is still building. Like, they're still like in a rebuild. Like,
they'll be a good team one day.
Like, Miami's on the up and New England is declined, dude. All those players that you just named for the New England defense, those are 30+ year players. They are not young. They're old.
They're getting a little brittle.
They are the dynasty that is going down. They are the Chicago Blackhawks of the NFL. Their ship is sinking. They were phenomenal. They still have some key players that could make them competitive. But at the end of the day, like, the new kids on the block are going to take them down. So, I mean, you and I can go back and forth about this all day, but my biggest concern with New England is, fine, I'll give you the defense. I'll give you that 100%. But, dude, Cam Newton is awful. He is a bad quarterback. He cannot play football. I'm sorry, but he is in the Carson Wentz level.
Like, I think Cam Newton top 18 quarterback in the league, and I think Tua bottom 20 or bottom 10.
God. You're wild.
Won't crack the top 20 this year. That sucks. Anyways, $100 on the line, official here. We can have a mercy rule that when the Patriots start 6-0 and the Dolphins stumble out 2-4, we can just call it if you want. But we'll keep the guys updated. I guess 7 months from now is what we'll do, or whatever it is. Yeah. 6-5, whatever.
We won't forget about this. I know we won't.
No, we won't. And if I get a bad feeling about it, I might just do something to end our friendship, and then I don't have to worry about it. I've got backup plans. Don't worry. Anyways, let's wrap this episode up. We've got one last little segment here, because last episode, now we actually didn't even talk about like what we were going to talk about. Now we didn't preemptively plan what we were going to talk about now, but we discussed last time a StickinRink Olympics, where we basically decide who's got the biggest nuts. Now, I wanted to pick your guys' brain because we kind of talked about a couple things we could do. Now, I'm looking for sports/games that aren't like, first of all, there's a couple rules. We can't play any sports that we're already good at. Like, Raph, you can't do soccer. I'm not doing volleyball. Josh, I don't know what you're good at, but we'll But no, I'm basically. I want our listeners of the podcast, of the live stream right now. Send us any ideas. I basically want games / sports that aren't like super serious. Like what ones I have down now? I had disc golf down because that sport's fucking sick. But we don't have to do that.
You're gonna be good at it.
Lawn darts.
Lawn darts would be sick too. I've only played one game of disc golf. Okay,
You know what we could do, boys? You know what would be unreal, and I'd probably lose is bowling. Let's do bowling.
I would lose at bowling too. Don't worry.
Bowling's good. Would you guys rather do 5-pin or 10-pin?
Let's
10
do. Oh, I was gonna do 5, but yeah,
no,
sure.
10-pin. The tiny balls, I just can't do it.
Okay.
I like the tiny balls because it doesn't discriminate against sausage fingers. I have those.
Just get bigger balls.
People have been telling me that for a long time, and I hate to disappoint people, but it might not happen.
I think it would be sick, and I don't know how the hell we would do it, but if we were to go to like a baseball field, and if we were to buy like 30 baseballs and just do a home run derby,
that'd be sick.
We could definitely do that, dude. Are you kidding me?
We need somebody unbiased to pitch.
Well, no, I think, or you could just toss it to yourself. Like you have a minute to try and get 30 balls out of the park.
Toss it to yourself.
I don't think that's no. You definitely have to have somebody pitching at you.
You need someone throwing it at you who is wearing full protective gear because I don't know where it's going after.
All right. Okay. We can get Bailey.
Yeah.
Throwing 95-mile-an-hour heaters.
Okay, I'm out here thinking bocce ball is a winner. We had that in the chat there from Razor570 bocce ball. Hell yeah, I think that's in there.
Yeah, except that's only. Oh no, you can do 3. Or can you do 3?
Yeah,
we'll each have to have our own colored balls. Yeah.
Okay.
There's different ways. And the other one I had down was go-karting because I heard there's some shit talking going around here.
Go-karting would be sick.
I think disc golf should be in there because of how much Raph shit talked my disc golf game.
Yeah, I think it's stupid. I like when we saw you the other day and you pulled out those discs. I was really hoping Bailey would have launched one at the wall. And just had it explode right there. That would have been so perfect.
That's pretty mean, dude.
I think we try and find a way to do like some sort of obstacle course or something.
Yeah, I like that. We can go to like one of the trampoline parks or something and like design our own course.
Yeah. Elijah, you wouldn't appreciate this, but Josh will. If we could somehow reenact Electric Avenue from Jackass, that'd be sick.
With
tasers.
Now we're getting sadistic with this. I'm not a big fan of that.
You know what we could do? Oh, let's mark down no, it's a 2-person. Fuck.
What?
We could just do a quick round robin. Whoever has the best record wins.
I have a really good idea. Idea.
Like billiards?
Cool. Yeah, billiards.
Yeah. I have a really good idea. What if we did, because we all like to think that we're the smartest here, naturally. Yeah. Because of how we are friends.
Yeah.
We should each run the same escape room course.
No, I suck.
And see who gets the furthest in it.
We should. Why don't we each write like an essay?
Why don't we each just go take the LSAT?
Why don't we? Yeah,
Fucking idiot, dude.
An IQ test. An IQ test should definitely be on there.
Take the bar exam.
Yeah, come on, easy. Jesus Christ. Why don't we just go to university? Why don't we all just go get an education or something like that? Holy fuck, Elijah.
I actually had this idea for a segment one day where it's called Get Creative. And we basically just come up with a topic and we have to, it wasn't you only had to write it. There was like whatever, I felt like a teacher. It was like, whatever medium you want to use to express yourself, you can do that. But it was basically like, give me something creative about like a funny first date, and you could like write a story, you could draw a picture, whatever you want to do. I thought that'd be funny.
I have another idea.
What's that?
Can we all make finger paintings and see who can sell theirs for the most amount of money?
Dude, one
of us, so sick, dude.
One of us isn't even gonna get like $10. The other one's gonna make like $1,000.
I could see like two of us painting with our index fingers and one of us just painting with their middle finger like a loser.
See, now we're getting somewhere with these segments. Now we're getting creative. That's the name of the game.
I love it.
Anyways, boys, I think that's about it for today. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, we'll sit on it for a little bit.
Especially, we're back on Tuesday with another. Okay, wait. Tuesday's Goats and Woats. Are we officially doing female first names?
Yes.
Oh yeah, baby. We got to get the word out there because I better see 30 viewers and the chat better be blowing up when I see that.
All my crushes are going to be on there.
Oh man, I should just drop all those names for myself too. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
All right, boys. It's been fun. I always love getting together with you. Adios to the listeners. Thank you. DraftKings promo code THPN at sign up. Remember that when you go to bed. Adios.